right time in that situation. So we'll see, but exciting times coming along. And part of the reason for that is what happened in the third fight, which is Ben Askren's debut against Robbie Lawler. And, a controversial fight that never hurt anybody. Askren, really being a dick afterwards, in my book, saying, is that the best you got? That doesn't hurt anybody. I think he did the right thing. Love him or hate him, people want to see him again. And Lawler, what can you say about Lawler? I mean, if you needed to go in a time machine and fight Germans in a ditch in World War I might take Robbie Lawler with me. You know what I mean? Because, God damn, that guy is just a warrior. And you can what I like, too, is the mindset, He gave Herb Dean hell for about 15 seconds, and then he was just professional enough to say, I've been through it all before, shake his hand, and move on and fight the other day. He went home without a scratch.
Yeah, when you consider all of Robbie Lawler's career and anybody who's known Robbie Lawler for years, the slam that he hit Askren on when Askren hit an arm drag, tried to take his back, and Lawler lifted him up and slammed him and then just proceeded to punish him. That was like the most Robbie Lawler thing ever. That was like a definition of Robbie Lawler's, and it was such a cool highlight. I was impressed by Askren, though, that he stayed composed through that, took the punishment, got back up, and he seemed to go right back to his game plan. And I'm not as critical as some are of Askren for this performance because right before the whole controversial ending, which it was strange for him to even go for the bulldog choke and all that. We'll get to that. But after all that, after taking a hellacious slam and getting his face pounded in, he got right back on the game plan and started backing Robbie up. He started, really pawing at his strikes, clinching up with him, grinding him against the cage. And it started to look like Robbie was starting to just feel smothered. And he ended up getting that takedown. Robbie started popping up, and then he goes for the bulldog choke. And we were screaming, arguing with each other about whether he was out, whether he wasn't out, what they should have done. And looking at the camera, looking at the review, it's hard. I don't think he was out, but I can understand where Herb Dean got the justification to stop the fight because Lawler's hand did seem to just go completely limp, and he didn't really he didn't make it too well known that I'm fighting this. I'm not out of it. Don't stop the fight. And it's a ref's job to protect the fighter and all that. So that was an interesting finish. I wish it wouldn't have ended that way because I would really have liked to seen how that fight would have turned out because I still think it would have been Askren pushing forward, trying to grind on Lawler, but Lawler having big moments. And would Askren have been able to handle it? Would Lawler have been able to handle the pressure? Would Lawler have ended up exerting his will on Askren? I'd actually like to see them run that fight back. I don't think Askren will do it, though.
Yeah, no, I think if you run it, you're never going to get that particular moment back, right? And we're always going to have those questions. I agree with you completely on many levels. First, Askren, he's a superhero, right? Because, and I think that plays into Robbie Lawler's reaction. I think that Herb Dean made a mistake, but he's the guy who's in there willing to go in there, make a mistake, and put it on the line. So I do give him the respect that Robbie Lawler. If Robbie Lawler can respect him, then I got nothing to say bad about Herb Dean. He was trying to do his job. But to me, the thing is if I'm Robbie Lawler and I'm in that bulldog choke, he's and it's not a choke, he said. He said it was on the chin, and he's absorbing pain, and it hurt. He said it was hurting him, but he was going to ride it out. He said, I was thinking about picking him up again, and I think that would have been interesting because he might have picked him up again and given him a slam. What happened is he had his hand here, and he sort of let it slide. So now with that slide of the hand, it winds up kind of limp looking. And now the ref's talking to him. What if I don't want my opponent to know I'm coherent? I don't want him. Shut up, ref, man. I'm fighting here. You know what I mean? So you don't know exactly. You can't put yourself in Bobby's shoes. Now, thumbs up didn't work out, or he said he was a little late with it, or however it all worked out. Whatever it is, that circumstance, you can't recreate that, so we'll never know. But what you saw, Ben Askren, I'll give you this. There was a moment, first of all, I think Bobby Lawler, too, sitting there in that bulldog choke. He's got to be thinking, this guy's still here. You know, it's got to be a little annoying, you know what I mean? Because, you know, that was weathering a storm. That showed me a lot. I like that. And so now Askren's up. He's in the bulldog choke. I don't know what those interactions are in a fight, and I think the referee kind of imposed his will, maybe his doubt, and I'm okay with it. He was trying to save the day. But, man, we were robbed of something special there, I think. And, we'll see. I think at one point when Askren got up, though, I don't know if it was because he was still a little on Queer Street or something, but there was something about the way he was moving forward where he was looking a little plodding and he was looking a little older. And he is 34, and he's a guy with a lot of miles. So I question, when he starts running into now guys that are going to be younger than him and hungry here, if he's going to be able to impose his will as easily. So it's going to be interesting to see, but I think we got him at the right time. Hey, just beat Robbie Lawler.